Hello, gorgeous. My name is Jessica Angelari, and today we are speaking about the magic of your womb space and why all women need womb healing more than ever. When our womb is in her well balanced and healed essence, we are able to hear her guidance because your womb desires to guide you, and she asks for you to harness her power of infinite connection to the goddess within you. So then your life can start to feel more in balance, and where you start to be guided into alignment. That's the beauty of your womb. And I believe all women need womb healing. We all require our awareness here to bring healing and relaxation within you. So your womb space is literally the powerhouse of your feminine female body. So it's not just related to pregnancy, but we can harness her power from the womb space on a day-to-day basis. However, sadly, for most of us women, the womb space is quite tense, it's dense, it's cold, it's rigid. So in this video today, I'm going to share with you why I believe all women require this loving relationship with the womb and why women do require womb healing. I'm going to share with you why we have become disconnected from this magical part of the female body and what it could be manifesting through you, and then how life can totally change when you start to connect with your womb space on a regular basis. To begin with, what is the womb space? Your womb is located 3 inches below your navel. You can even place your hands here as I'm speaking and as you are listening to this today. As women, our womb is considered our feminine center, the power center, as I mentioned. It's the home. It is your powerhouse of your feminine energy. And you don't have to physically have a womb to actually feel it either, because the energy of the womb space still exists in your body, even if you've had your womb removed due to a medical procedure. Now, this energetic center, I speak mostly about the energetics of it, of your womb space, is located in your sacral chakra. And this energetic center of the female body is where you really resource your femininity, your creativity, your sexuality, sensuality, wealth, relationships, how you know relationships, a relationship with yourself and with your beloved, with others. Empathy, it has everything to do with those nurturing qualities, pleasure, your emotions, movement, change, warmth, intimacy, all those delicious things that the feminine provides us. So it's the space where we all come from after all. So imagine that. Imagine the power of that, that this is where we were born, and imagine the abundance of what else is possible for us. It's infinite. So this is a place where you source your creativity, your passions, your desires. Like I said, your sensuality, your sexuality, all those ideas you desire to birth and bring forth to create in this new world, in this new life that you choose. It's the place where the new you is transformed and birthed over and over again. It is the place where we are asked to tune into in order to continue dying and releasing in our menstrual cycle and then be rebirthed again and again. We have this great pleasure to move through in order for transformation to occur. So thinking about this, we can also know that this is where your being, your essence, your truth is established. And your womb space is considered the second heart. Your womb is highly intuitive and receptive. We all know that saying, listen to that gut feeling. This is what they are speaking about. The thing is, most of us haven't learned the power of this and also learned how to listen and take action from this space. So your womb is the powerhouse, as I said, of your female body. This is where you know yourself. This is where the ancient words of your soul is spoken to you through her. And we often bypass this very powerful landscape of our inherent ancient wisdom. And because of this neglect, our womb space has been cold, rigid, dense. And most women are not harnessing this power of the womb space on a regular basis. So we require this healing. We require ourselves to return to her. And this is all due, this disconnection is all due to the patriarch, to this modern day world that we live in. And the exposure to Western medicine, which really has been portraying our womb space as this trouble spot for us women. And that's why for a lot of us, we have gut related problems, PMS, and really heavy emotions, dense emotions that we don't really know how to really move them in ways that really serve our body and our soul. And so we are in need of this womb healing because we are disconnected from this medicine of our body, this ancient medicine. And our life really starts to change when we do connect with her regularly. It did for me. Now, when I'm speaking about this modern world that we live in, I'm speaking about this idea that has been really ingrained in our mind and in our body that we need to look a certain way and that our stomach has to look a certain way. And when it does, that means that we are more attractive or more successful. We have, social media really pushing this idea and emphasizing the perfect look, the perfect abs for women. And I'm not at all saying that we shouldn't feel good and we shouldn't do things that make us feel healthy and fit and feel alive in the body. But the thing is, most of us are really denying this beautiful aspect of our womb and the sensual softness of our body. And so we are also living from the mind only. And with this, we totally ignore the landscape from which we are all really are able to thrive from, which lies in our womb. And then this is how we stop trusting ourselves. And this is how we live from stress and frustration and anger. This is how we also continue to look outside of ourselves, continuously comparing ourselves to other women who look better, have a fitter stomach than us, and therefore they must be more successful than us in relationships, in life, in business, whatever. And we have become so concerned with these false beauty standards, one being how flat our bellies look, and we skip this juice, the softness, the deliciousness, the sensual aspect of a woman's body and the great wisdom that really lies here within our womb. And so when we're not creating these holistic relationships with our body, with our womb space, we live then in disconnection to our true essence. We live accordingly to what others believe to be more beautiful, when in fact you are beautiful just the way you are. And when we do come home to our womb space, we start to realize how disconnected we have been. And then we also are able to really connect with and extract our great gifts and desires and passions and creativity that our womb space offers us. You see, the more that we disconnect ourselves from the magic of our womb space, the more we carry tension and these emotional blocks here, which really blocks your radiance, your beauty, your success. And when we are disconnected from our womb space, we are also not in sync with our own inner cycles, our menstrual cycle, and we're not learning how to be in sync with the cycles of the moon as well. We are emotional water beings after all, and it is our innate way to move through life that is connected with Mother Earth and with the grandmother moon. And so when we are not connected and we're not integrating the beautiful energies of Mother Earth, as well as the energies within us that we are constantly moving through, that our womb space teaches us, we women then become depleted. Our life force is depleted. The life force energy that is alive within your womb space, which brings forth your being, which brings forth your desires, your dreams, your creations. And so our life force gets depleted because we aren't connecting with the womb space. And then we're in this constant search outside of ourselves, looking for ways to fix ourselves. And from my experience, the true healing has come from when I really started to feel rested and relaxed and connected to my body and my womb space. Now, your womb space is the storehouse of your emotions, energies, and memories. So we unconsciously, as women, store our unresolved emotions in and through the womb space. So we store emotions from past experiences like fear, anger, resentment, betrayal, loneliness, rejection, abandonment, stress, or even traumatic sexual experiences. They are all unconsciously stored in the womb space. So she acts like a bowl where all of these sit, right? And this is how the denseness occurs. So we create this block, we create this heaviness in the womb. And then our life force, as I mentioned, our life force energy is then depleted. It actually has been proven that our DNA is formed in the mother's womb when she was in her mother's womb. So think about that. There has been centuries of repression and abuse of feminine principles that our ancestors and grandmothers have experienced and have been passed down to us from womb to womb, from our mother's womb to her, from her mother's womb, and so on. And so we are holding not only our own emotions and traumas, but also of those from our ancestors. And because they haven't been felt, they haven't been tended to with love and compassion, we've been holding on to all of this. And this is what limits us from fully expressing ourselves in the world. And sometimes women have these unresolved, stored emotions in the womb space, which can result in illnesses or dis-ease, such as PMS, cysts, polycystic ovaries, and other related illnesses around the womb, the lining of the womb, and your yoni, your vagina as well. And I know this is not the case for all women. It was for me. This is what happened for me. I was living in chronic stress, and then this manifested in physical pain, in physical ways, where I was diagnosed by doctors at a very young age with IBS and polycystic ovaries. And then I was told to quickly take a pill and treat the problem as fast as I could without really going to the root of what was going on. And when I look back, I really feel like that this is it's a temporary band-aid, and it's not sustainable, and it's not helpful to our well-being and to our expression. And so we're just looking at things on the surface level, on the physical level. The thing that I learned was that I was in fact carrying a lot of stress, a lot of anxiousness, and unresolved issues related to the feminine. And a lot of them were related to my mother's own issues as well, with her expression and how she feels about her worth and her boundaries and her sexuality. And then I look at my grandmother and it's the same. So we're repeating these patterns until one of us breaks the cycle, and we can break these chains and these cycles when we bring this loving relationship, this connection to our womb. And now I'm not saying that this is always the case as well, that once you just start connecting with your womb, everything will just be resolved. This is a lifelong process. But I have noticed with myself and with the women working with me that when they have developed this holistic relationship with their womb and their body, there is an ease that moves through them. And then through this ease, there is a feeling of, there is healing that comes with that, because there's a great appreciation and love and surrender for the feminine, which has been in hiding. So imagine a new world that we can create when we're no longer passing our unresolved emotions to our children through our womb space. It's something to really think about. There's just so much to allow that to really sit with you. Something else I wanted to mention was that the disconnection from your womb space also goes beyond illnesses. You may also feel a lack of self-esteem, self-worth, self-trust, and knowing how to self-nurture, how to take care of yourself. That comes with being disconnected from your womb. You may also be attracting abusive or toxic relationships over and over again. So you find yourself in these repeated patterns, right? In these relationships of maybe attracting emotionally unavailable men. And you may even feel emotional or a lot, really overreactive, or maybe you feel really sad or bitter a lot of the times. You may feel attached to like things, right? To more than people, more than connection, more than relationships. You may also be listening to other people's opinions, advice over your own intuition, which then causes you to fall into those similar patterns over and over again. This can be an effect of not being connected with the wisdom of your womb. You may experience feelings of being really needy, excessive neediness, and thinking that nobody loves you. So you start to fall into that victim mentality, which isn't serving your greatest potential. You may experience codependency in relationships, or find yourself in manipulation to receive love and to gain attention. This is a common one for a lot of women. You may experience painful periods, as I mentioned, maybe bladder infections. Some women feel fear of or guilt for receiving, or for feeling happy, or for experiencing pleasure and bliss in their life. Maybe some women may feel a lack of creative expression, so they feel blocked in that, or they don't feel like they are very creative. They don't feel like they know what they want in their space or in their life. In some women as well, they carry this idea that being more productive is better than being relaxed or doing things from a place of joy, that doesn't exist. It's not in their vocabulary. In some women, the disconnection of the womb space could look like they are, which relates to the other point, feeling like they have to work so much and becoming very dominant in their personal life, in their work life, in their relationships. And that really creates this idea of fulfillment and that they're worthy, right, of receiving. So think about that. Do any of these sound familiar to you? And if so, that's okay, because the work can start right now. It's never too late to start this beautiful, magical work of connecting with your womb. Womb healing is for every woman, regardless of if you are bleeding, going through menopause, if you've had your womb removed, if you've had a child or not, if you are feeling emotionally suppressed, if you are feeling sexually blocked or creatively blocked, if you've had sexual trauma, if you've never connected with your menstrual cycle before, or if you find yourself disconnected from your feminine energy, right? Womb healing is for you. It's for all of us. And I feel like this is such a gift that we are missing out on. It's for every woman. It's for you, sister. And let me tell you, it is life-changing. I'm not just saying that. It is life-changing. It shifted my entire life, my entire being, the way that I create, the way that I attract and magnetize, the way I do relationships, the way that I speak. It really is life-changing when you start to walk this journey of womb healing. I was able to connect deeper with my feminine wisdom. I unlocked my great potential for pleasure and creativity, and it's infinite. We think that it's only for certain things. It's infinite. Let me tell you. I healed my relationship with my menstrual cycle. I now bleed regularly, and I don't suffer from IBS anymore. I really embody my feminine energy and where I need to, especially in my relationships. And I feel so much more secure in this place. I feel secure with myself. I feel secure with my voice, because your voice is connected. I also feel happy now to be in my masculine energy when I need to be in my masculine energy. I feel this deep sense of trust for myself and trust for what moves through me and the intuition that is presented to me. I have also learned how to self-soothe those anxious feelings and have become my own mother to myself. And as part of a lot of my offerings and my programs, I do offer a lot of practices and embodiment practices to help you connect deeper with your womb, the energetics of your womb. And in this way, you realize the great love that you have for yourself, and you start to feel at ease in your body. We do a lot of this through movement and breath and touch. Movement is so important to me. I danced samba, and this is where I started to learn the importance of hip movements and creating openness for my womb. And I started to then integrate my spirituality with this, and so much of my creative potential expanded. So working with your womb energy can really help you to identify what it is you truly desire, what it is you truly want. For a lot of us women, we don't even know It helps you to identify your emotional needs and therefore your boundaries. It helps you to identify where you may be overgiving, those patterns of overgiving. And women are able to connect deeply with their divine feminine and welcome her presence in their daily life. And in this place of the divine feminine, we also welcome the life force, where our desires are manifested through us and we start to become magnetic to the relationships that are aligned to our heart, that is meant for us. And we also give space for our ideas to move through us, space for our new version of us to move through us and to be birthed through us. And that's how we become magnetic. And you find yourself in real rich new experiences of sexuality and sensuality. We are in a great awakening, I believe, and we are called to be the midwives of birthing a new era. We are the creators of birthing a new landscape for which the feminine can thrive in. And it all starts with connecting with your womb space and carrying the love forth through that, to speak and be in your power through this space of love. We can bring so much awakening and love and healing in our womb space that has been just sitting in our body and really creating coldness and denseness and carrying the burdens of our past. And when we bring our presence and respect and appreciation, love and devotion to our womb space, we start to bring a new love language to ourselves. We start to bring healing. We start to bring change and transformation and expansiveness. And let me tell you, womb work is not easy. It's a courageous path that a woman can take. And I say courageous because it will mean that you have to be surrendered and to move from the control of the mind where so many of us have been, and where we have to move down and descend down into the body, into the womb, where she speaks with no logic. And this can be scary for a lot of us women because our womb doesn't understand the intellects of the mind and the workings of this modern world that we live in. She is your own universe, a universe that only you can awaken to. And then it takes a big courageous act to then listen and respond to her and take action from that space. Your womb's voice is soft. She's not penetrative. She's not manipulative. She is your truth. And you are the beholder of this truth. For you to hear her, you must become spacious. This is a gift then that ripples in every area of your life, sister, from money to purpose to relationships to nurturance to peace and grace. When we start listening to our womb, she will dramatically lead you to change your lifestyle, your spirituality, your diet, your relationships, all the things that no longer serve you, that you may have been holding on to. You start to create change around, to invite in more love and grace and beauty and power and creativity into your life. When we listen to our desires and needs through her, she becomes sensitive to the sensations and simple pleasures of everyday life. She becomes the loving energy and loving light that moves through you. So womb healing can be such a sensual experience for us. When we enter this space, our whole life unfolds in divine order, and you remember who you are and what you came here to do. You hear your sacred yes to this journey. And I teach a lot of sounds, breath, and movement practices to activate your womb space and use her on a regular basis to create more beauty and inspiration in your life. And you can start this womb journey right now by joining my free 7-day program, Erotic Feminine Embodiment, to start igniting that life force to create that space in your womb. In day 2, I offer a womb heart breath practice. And there is another practice in there in the 7 days where you descend down a little lower into your yoni and start developing that love relationship with her as well. This is a great journey of releasing and returning to you to become clear about you, as I said, and your truth. And in this way, you become your own connection to the goddess. And this is feminine embodiment. I invite you to also check out my other offerings that I have. And if you want to dive deeper into this work of womb connection, womb love, reach out to me as well. And yeah, make sure to sign up for my free 7-day program. I'm so intrigued to hear what landed for you in this. Drop any comments below, what really moved through you, what you felt really connected to in this talk today. And yes, from my womb love to yours, thank you so much for being here. And if you loved this, don't forget to subscribe and follow and like this video. Thank you so much, sister, for watching. My name is Jessica Angelari.